Hey everybody, Hunter Fisher, Trapper, Trader, Guide, Scout, and Interpreter, and just a country cook, Steve Hall, here in Nashville, Tennessee, along with the prettiest camera girl in the world. Hi, Sheila.
Hi.
Today we're going to make one of Sheila's favorites because it's mild. Even though it's called Tex-Mex chicken and corn soup, it's delicious. You're going to love it. Come on over, let's get started. We're going to put in one whole sweet Vidalia onions. You know I love that. But we're not going to dice them. We're going to slice them real super thin. This is actually 2 slices here. I saved the last little batch so I could show you. Slice them thin and then just quarter it like this. Then break all these little teeny pieces up. And this is what we want floating around in our soup, is these neat little thin sliced onions with about a little quarter turn to them. Give it some character. Now the next thing I'm going to do, let me get some gloves on because I want to cut up this jalapeno. Alright, I got my gloves on because I don't want to wipe my face later and get that stinging feeling on my eyes. I'm going to cut the very end of this off, and I'm going to cut off the top, and then I'm going to cut this thing in half with this dull knife that I got here. And then I'm going to take a spoon and pull all the seeds out of this because that's really the hot part. Now I will mention this. Jalapeno peppers are not as hot as you think. Even though we're going to put this jalapeno in the soup, the growers that grow these know that a lot of people are making, you know, bacon wrapped and stuffed jalapeno peppers, and they don't want them too hot, so they're actually growing them not as hot. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Cut off a little piece of that. You can eat it like an apple. Got a little spice to it, but not hardly any heat at all. Now I'm going to slice these in little teeny thin pieces to go into our soup. And because we're going to saute, so to speak, our onions and this one jalapeno, now you can put 2 in or 3 or however spicy you want to make it. Because we're going to do them both at the same time, I'm just going to put these right in here with my onions. Then I'm going to move this over here and that over here, and I'll show you the next step. See you in a second. Got our little Dutch oven heating up. We're going to put in about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And that'll only take a second to heat up because I already had it cranked on high. And I got it cranked on high because a lot of recipes you always say, well, we're just going to soften the vegetables. We really don't want to brown them. We really want to brown them here for this recipe. We want to get some color. Oh yeah, there's that sizzle. It's happening. We want to get some color on our onions and jalapeno peppers. I moved the cooker kind of forward here on the counter so Sheila can see down in there with the camera. Can you see that, Sheila?
I can.
And what we're going to do is kind of get these all mixed up and then all kind of flattened out. Then we're not going to stir them for about a minute. Then we're going to stir it, then not stir it again for a minute because we want to build some color. And if you keep stirring and stirring and stirring, it doesn't get that golden brown. So we'll see you in about a minute. All right, it's been about a minute. Oh yeah. A few of them are starting to get a little color. Can you see that, Sheila, right there?
Yeah, I can.
Awesome. I'm going to stir this around again. Hopefully the ones on the top will be on the bottom and the ones on the bottom will make it to the top there. And I'm going to get them all kind of flattened out again on the bottom of our little Dutch oven, and it's on high.
And the ones on the side?
And the ones on the side, uh-oh. Yeah, you need to keep an eye on that because I've noticed a couple of my other recipes that when I'm stirring there's one little irritating piece hanging around up here on the side, and I got to get him off there. Because I know somebody at home is going, get that little piece on the side. And by the way, I'm done with my jalapeno peppers, so I guess I can take these gloves off. Let's give this one more minute, and then we're going to tumble them again. All right, we got some nice color on our onions and our little jalapeno in there. Now we're going to dump in a 12-ounce bag of frozen sweet corn from Kroger's, their little 12-ounce bag, and that works out to be about 2.5 to 3 cups. You can put a little more in there if you want, but I like that amount right there. Now believe it or not, I actually kind of forgot about it in the freezer, So it's going in here frozen, so it's going to take a minute for it to reach room temperature, then it's going to take another minute for it to start developing some color. Because we want to put a little of that color on this corn as well, kind of help it along. How about if we put in our next ingredient?
There's your onion on the side.
Is there onion on the side? Okay. All right, we're going to put in a heaping teaspoon of chili powder. That's our next ingredient in here. This stuff is so good, you're going to love it. And it's not too spicy. Trust me on this. You will not believe how easy it is to eat. Your kids will love it. Everybody can eat it. It won't run grandma off. It's good stuff. Get a little color on this corn. Give it another minute or two. We'll be right back here. Boy, is this looking perfect or what? At this point here, we're going to put in a box of chicken broth. The whole thing. This is a 32 ounce. Actually, this is 4 cups because that's what we want in there. It's a 32 ounce, 2 pound box of chicken stock. Then when you get that in there, we're going to add some kosher salt, about a half a teaspoon. You can always put some more in, but you can't take it out. Sheila always wants me to run that little grinder around, but I'm just going to take this, put in about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Perfect. Just for Sheila. There we go. I knew you were going to say something, so I went ahead and did that. All right. Now we're going to put in a can of hominy. And what is hominy? It's a label that's upside down when you open the bottom of the can in the kitchen, but it's white hominy. There, I'll turn it upside down and run that juice on my fingers. And it's corn as well, but it doesn't taste like sweet corn.
You bring that can down a little bit.
Okay, can you see it now?
Yeah.
Now can you see it better?
Turn around.
Oh, like this?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, perfect, perfect. All right. Anyway, and this stuff, complete different taste. Now they actually have a gold white hominy and white hominy at the store, but I didn't want the yellow to go with yellow. I wanted the contrast of having white mixed in the yellow, so you get a blend of colors like that right there. That's what I was looking for. And that's just a regular, what does that say on there? 15.5 ounces. Anything around 15 ounces is perfect. And make sure, I almost forgot to mention this, pour it into a strainer, drain it out, and rinse it real good and get rid of all the juice that's in this can. So you just pour in the hominy, rinsed, drained, just that hominy corn. And now it's time to add our tomatoes. And I went to the store, and I usually use Rotel's diced tomatoes and chilies. And they normally have mild, regular, and hot. Even the regular is hot. If I make venison hamburger soup for Sheila, she loves it. But if I use the regular, she kind of won't eat it because it's too hot. So I use mild. They didn't have any mild on the shelf, so I went with this Kroger brand. Same thing, diced tomatoes and green chilies. Make sure it says mild. Remember we said we're going to turn this down so it's not too hot for everybody? Well, here it is, juice and all on this. You want to dump all that in there. And we're also going to add a little 8-ounce can of Hunt's. And I love Hunt's ketchup and Hunt's sauce, everything Hunt's. An 8-ounce can of Hunt's tomato sauce. That's for flavor and for color. Because watch this, as you start to stir this, oh man, it starts to get some real good look to it here. And now it's time for the chicken. And this chicken option is completely up to you. You can buy one of them whole rotisserie chickens and pull all the meat off, shred it up and throw it in there. Or you can just save some, fried chicken that you had the last couple nights or something, tear it up. I actually went to the store and I ran into this stuff. It's a taco meat, fully cooked, but it's shredded and it's seasoned. And I tried it and it's really, really good. It's fully cooked, so that is really yummy, and it has that kind of Mexican flavor to it anyway. We're going to dump in 4 cups of that, You can put in 3 cups or 4 cups, but I'll tell you, you can shred up regular chicken, but it won't taste like this stuff right here. This is really good. It's Hormel's taco meats, shredded, fully cooked chicken. And man, that just instantly turned this into the most wonderful soup you ever laid your eyes on. But I will mention that this, and I love dark meat, this is all dark meat in here. So if you want white meat, you can shred up some, you know, chicken breasts or whatever you want to do. Cook it and then put it in there. And here's my little secret ingredient. I'm going to put in about 1/2 to 3/4 a teaspoon of sugar. That's right, I said it. It's in there. The last batch I made that we had about a month ago before we decided to do this on the show was fantastic with that sugar in there. Time for a little sample to see how we're doing on everything else, salt and pepper and all that stuff. Wow. That is really, really good. All right, time to clean up the counter here a little bit. I'm going to move this pot over here, let it simmer for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we're going to plate this up. See you in a little bit. It's been simmering for about 10 minutes. I can't stand it any longer. And I will tell you that I tasted it, and I was really aggressive with that pepper shaker. So you might want to start out with about 1/4 of a teaspoon of pepper and maybe only 1/2 a jalapeno pepper to start with. It's not bad, but it's got a little teeny bit of a zing to it, and I know Sheila, it's got to be really mild for her to eat it. So hopefully I can get this by her once I put all the other ingredients in here. Let's dish this up, man. In fact, so it'll quiet down just a little bit, let me go ahead and turn that off. What do you think, Sheila?
It looks really good.
It does look good. I hope it's not too spicy for you. Like I say, you can always add to it, but you can't take it out. So, all right. I know what we're having for lunch today. We're shooting this recipe about 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's just about time for lunch by the time I get done editing. Now here's something Sheila does on all the chilies and all the soups that we have. She likes to put a little cheese on there. I'm not going to go too crazy. I just want to put a little sprinkle on there for a little bit of taste, but mostly for color. And this is that Mexican blend, 4 cheeses that they put in there. Now we're going to put in some crunched up tortilla chips. And man, I'll tell you, as these sink and get soggy and get down in the soup, it gets better and better. And this is going to help with the spiciness too. And then Sheila says the next ingredient is really going to help with the spiciness, and that's some nice cold sour cream. A little dollop right on top of each one of these. Oh man. Is it looking good, Sheila, or what?
It is looking really good.
It is, isn't it? Oh, I'm not done yet. Time to sprinkle a little scallion on top of here. Now, you see that in recipes all the time, to add some scallion. You know what that is? That's a fancy name for a green onion out of your garden. That's all that is. So don't let them chefs scare you off with them fancy names.
Yeah, we're very humble right now.
Scallion, golly. Long stem green onion, that's what we're going to chuck in there. Push a few of these into our little bowl to show off for our little thumbnail that we're going to take a picture. And as soon as I brought them home, Sheila says, we should have got those scoops, you know, the little scoop ones so you can scoop them up. Isn't that what you said, Sheila?
I sure did.
She always keeps me off on one foot. What do you think, Sheila? Doesn't it look great?
It does.
I think we need to take a picture though, don't you?
Yes, after I get through organizing those
Oh,
chips.
are they crooked? She's going to organize them better because they're crooked. How's that? Is that looking any better? All right. I'm going to let her organize the chips, and we'll be right back after we take a picture. We'll see you in a second. I always double check. This is Sheila's little baby spoon over here. I use a regular full man-size spoon, but she likes a little baby spoon, and I had just a little teeny bit of cheese left, so I thought I'll put that on hers. Instead of putting it in the garbage, I'll sprinkle it on there. Time for a taste. And I don't want to get in this bowl over here. I want to make sure I'm in this one over here. A little bit of sour cream, a little bit of chip, a little bit of chicken, a little bit of tomato. Folks, that's wonderful. That is really, truly delicious and wonderful. You're going to love this recipe. And here's the neat part. These little chips, as they soak in there and they get softer. What a great treat. And especially in the wintertime when the snow is flying and you're all tucked in and you got a snowdrift in the front yard.
And you got some scoops.
And you got some scoops and an ice cream bar for delicious dessert. We're going to be in good shape. This is fantastic. Boy, I got to tell you, we have made this recipe so many times before, and we've always used leftover chicken or bought one of those rotisserie chickens and ripped all the meat off. But you got to pick up a package of Hormel Taco Meats shredded dark meat chicken. It's for tacos and it's seasoned, shredded, but I put two 12-ounce packages in here, and wow, the flavor is explosive. It's just fantastic. We hope you enjoy this recipe. Make it for your family. Tone it down a little bit. Only put in about a half a jalapeno pepper and maybe about an eighth or a quarter of a teaspoon of regular pepper. That's the only thing that spices it up to start with. You can always add the heat a little bit later on, but we don't want to run anybody off because it's so delicious. We really hope you enjoy our recipes, and we hope you subscribe to our channel. I'm still watering at the mouth here. It's so good. Little Shotgun Red's face will pop up over on this side here in a little bit towards the end of the video. When it does, click on it. We hope you subscribe to our channel and become one of our subscribers. We want to thank all the people that already subscribe and watch our videos. We love you to death. In fact, we're going to put up another series of recipes over here that anybody can click on at the end as well. And is this the most delicious Tex-Mex chicken and corn soup for the folks out of San Antonio that came to our show? You ever tasted it? If it ain't, it ought to be. This is Steve Hall in Nashville, Tennessee, saying we'll see you next time right here on Cooking with Shotgun Red. And always remember, the recipe is always right under the video. You just click on Show More. Sheila always says have them go to shotgunred.com and check out them little Shotgun Red dolls and our videos that we have there of our live performances and a bunch of other goodies. But most of all, we just want to thank you for watching. Sheila, great job today as usual.
Well, thank you.
You ready to have some lunch?
I am.
I am too. We'll see you next time right here on Cooking with Shotgun Red. And you're right, Sheila. That sour cream tones down the recipe in its own right. It's so, so good. See you in a little bit.